Firefox 144 is out. Hooray. And this was the thing we talked about, I think, before we ended the last season. We were projecting far, far into the future and said, Firefox is going to have a new profile manager. Now,
Right.
I did not know that this was not a thing. So profiles have existed in Firefox for quite a long time.
Right.
But a profile manager has not.
Yeah, we hinted it was coming, but it hadn't been released yet.
Right. And I was under the impression that it was profiles.
Right.
But no. So
yeah.
the profile, the thing that manages the profiles that allows you to move from one profile to another, so you can have a work profile and a home profile and a games profile and a whatever profile and a shopping profile, whatever. You can have all of that, right? And now there's a manager to handle all of that.
Right,
but if you were technical enough and wanted to play around in about::config enough, you could have had access to this. I didn't. This is the part that I didn't know. So
yeah.
That's really cool.
Who's got time for that?
I mean, at least one person that told me about
probably.
it.
Yeah, probably.
But it's hard for me to want to dive into it because I've gotten so used to multi-account containers, right? Like I already do the profile life,
kinda, yeah.
But I have it all in one window, and that works quite well for me, right? Like because
it works pretty good for me too.
Yeah, because multi-account containers allows me to log into, like, say, Gmail or whatever. I can log in with one profile. I can log in with one account and then open up a new profile, or a container, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
I could go into the other container, log into a different account, and have them both side by side, two separate accounts, and that works very well. But that's also kind of what the profile will allow you to do. Have a work profile so you can log into your work email, but not have to log out of that. You just move to your home profile and be in your personal email, right?
Right.
So it is something really, really cool.
It's handy.
I don't know that I'll be diving into it, but I imagine Vivaldi's had this feature for quite a while, and I know a lot of people that love that feature. So if you just don't want to do the multi-account container thing, I mean, profiles exist now, so we're good.
Yep.
But one of the interesting things that has surfaced since we've been talking about Windows 10 dying since last year, like early last year, we did an early episode of, hey, in a year, everything is going to come crashing down. What are you going to do? And it turns out, right, that there's a vast majority of people that don't care. Don't care.
Well, sure.
And
that's the sad part.
Yeah, well, Firefox, for better or for worse, and I think Chrome has an extended release as well, so they're kind of doing the same thing. But it's not really the operating system that is the indicator of what is going to move someone on, right? Like, there's a lot of fervor about it. A lot of people telling you that Windows is just going to, and you get the vibe that Windows is going to stop working, but it won't. Windows 10 will just keep chugging along, not getting updates for forever. But the thing that I think is going to surprise people is that eventually your browser will stop working. That, I think, might actually be the true death day of a given Windows.
I mean, let's be real. That's the thing most people use on a regular. There's a lot of other applications that they may use on an occasion, but the browser is the one you use like all the time. I mean, just pretty much everything's done in a browser these days. So the other applications ending probably aren't the end of the world for them. Although I know some have been announced that they just won't continue. Example is TurboTax, if you're into that one. Yeah. They've actually said that you can't use like that. If you're using that for your taxes this year, you better be on Windows 11 because it just won't work. It's not happening.
Right, right. And I can see that. But things like Photoshop 7 didn't stop working. So
right. Yeah, no, some things probably won't. Absolutely.
Right. So if you can get along with that particular version of Photoshop or whatever, it's going to run into perpetuity on, heck, even Windows XP. But I guess the point is that Firefox will not stop supporting, with the ESR branch, not stop supporting Windows 10 for an indefinite amount of time. And I say that because ESR still works on Windows 7. So it is still being...
I don't know how I feel about this. Actually, I do know how I feel about this.
Yeah, and I think we agree a lot, and I think we disagree on this one.
Yeah, I feel not good about this. I feel like we need to get people to move on, and if that's the thing that's going to be, forcing them to get, on a supported release of operating system, so be it. Let's help out a little bit. I mean, I don't like the idea that people have to probably spend money to move on. That's a little unfortunate, but nothing lasts forever. And what happens when the operating system itself has vulnerabilities that aren't getting patched? I mean, all it takes is one of those to be a really bad day for people, I guess.
Yeah, and I think people don't think about it, right? Like, I think the people...
It'll, like you said, it'll continue to work in perpetuity until something bad happens.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait for something bad to happen? I know I don't.
Right. So I'm sure there are two camps, right? There are people that are running Windows 7 that are like, well, I can handle this. And so about the security patches thing, I forget the name of the company, but it's like Zero something or other, that are actually still minting patches, security patches for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10. So 10 now, they're starting to now. But
well, in 10, if you play the game, you can get free support for another year, right? So you can kick the can down further.
That's a whole other thing. Like,
right.
The patches are there. Microsoft is making the patches, but is going to withhold the patches from some people because you didn't jump through hoops. That is trash.
That is trash. You're right.
That is a very bad move. I cannot believe that Microsoft would make the patch and just not give it to you.
Well, I can, because they want money. I mean, I like money.
Well, of course. But, like, the EU doesn't let that happen. Folks in the EU can just have the patches. Right. But because, we are not in the EU, so everybody on Windows 10 in the US either had to jump through hoops or will just not get the patch. That's bad. It's just bad. There's nothing you could say to change my mind. If the patch exists, give it to people. I mean, you're giving it to most everybody for free. Give it to the rest of everybody for free, too. No hoops required.
Or just don't give it to anybody for free and charge everybody. I mean, that's the alternative.
Yeah, sure.
You can still make it, but you're charging them, so you're getting, your time, your labor money back, right?
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, which is the important part, I suppose.
I can get behind that. Just be consistent, right? Is the thing. But I'm of the opinion that, I mean, if you're gonna write it, just give it. Just give it. This is people's data, people's lives that you're talking about, man. I mean, their entire everything is on a computer a lot of times. So withholding it for whatever reason is silly. But anyway, so there are alternative ways to get your updates, and so the security-minded people that are still running on an old operating system are probably doing that. But then there's also that contingent of people that just don't care. Whatever, it works. It turns on.
Until it stops, I will not move.
Right, and so they're going to be running on Firefox ESR or some other browser that has an extended release cycle for until it stops. So I don't know. You bought it. You bought the hardware. You bought the operating system. Windows. I mean,
but I bought it 10 years ago.
But it still works.
But it was 10 years ago. Well, how much time did you think you were getting out of that?
Well, I don't know. I think people. I think someone that doesn't necessarily think about the hardware that they buy or whatever, they buy something and they expect it to work until it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And until it breaks, they're going to keep using it. I think there's a lot of people like that, right? I mean, I buy tools this way.
And yes, I don't know that I subscribe to that, but I get you. I know there are people that do.
Yeah. So, and I guess Firefox is just kind of enabling that. Right, where
that's it. That's the word right there. You right. You found the trigger.
That's it. I mean, it is enabling people to do something that might be ambiguous in a security context, right? I mean, that's not quite ambiguous. We know what's going to happen, but I mean,
it happened with XP.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Well, it happened before XP was even dropped in support. Remember the whole firewall thing where people were like connecting up XP directly to the internet and then getting their Windows shares messed up.
Yeah,
and it took until Service Pack 2 to change it.
That's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
years, dude. So even Windows being in support kind of sucks.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, like, people forgot about that, right?
I guess so, right? And people will forget that you can use Firefox ESR on Windows 7, I guess. It all goes into the garbage bin of the back of the mind, man.
I know. It's
don't think
crazy
about
to
it.
Me.
Just don't think about it.
Well, I'll try not to.
But I think I think it's kind of a cool thing for Firefox to do, though. I mean, in a very, it's your hardware, it's your operating system. Just use it and run it to the ground. Whatever. Here's a browser that will allow you to be on the internet while that happens. I do think that is kind of a cool thing to do. I do take your point, though, that using the operating system when it's not getting patches is just a very dangerous thing to do. And Firefox having a browser that allows you to do so encourages you to continue to be unsafe. And that's not a good thing to be in.
Just switch to Linux, and then you can have a supported operating system.
I think that's the right choice.
If you want to keep your hardware, right?
Right. Exactly right. Well, I can't run the new Windows. Fine. Then run Linux. It's going to hurt a little bit.
You're going to have some learning. But that's okay.
But you're going to save $600 on the back end buying a crappy laptop that can barely run Windows 11 anyway. So I think you're going to be better off.
100%.
Prepay with a little pain. Yeah. And you'll be much, much better off. But a browser that doesn't support Windows 7, that is, and I guess I can't even really say browser, right? Because we're not talking about a browser. We're talking about a browsing engine.
Yeah.
Much like WebKit and Chromium, which is a browser, but also an engine, but also a browser. And did I say WebKit? Oh, and Gecko, Firefox's Gecko.
Gecko, yeah.
There's a new browser engine in the mix, Servo. So this is something that's been around for quite a while, and it turns out
for a while,
yeah. Not only was it brewing for a while, Servo was originally created by the Firefox people, the Mozilla people, Brendan Rust.
Yeah.
This was gotten rid of at the time that Mozilla was getting rid of all their Rust and Rust people.
But because Rust kind of was begat from Mozilla, right? Essentially, yeah.
All the good stuff comes from Netscape lineage, man. JavaScript, whatever you think about it, it has swept the entirety of the world. JavaScript runs absolutely everything. It is not good that is the case, but it is. So all the good technologies, everything is from Netscape or Mozilla. And
it seems like,
And Servo is another one of those things that it's shaping up to be a really interesting, if nothing else, browsing engine. We'll never see it in Firefox, which is kind of sad, as it was originally intended.
That was where it was intended to go, but it's not happening.
But we're gonna see it somewhere, and
which is cool.
I am interested in wherever Servo goes. Maybe Servo is just they're gonna grab a new arm of people that do the browser actual development on top of that, and we'll have this really cool Servo group and whatnot. But it is really cool to see that the adage that I believed in my brain, and I do actually still think this is true, that you can't make browsing engines anymore. Servo as a browser engine was created under the umbrella of Mozilla, people that already knew how to do this, had institutional knowledge and the skill and the people to do it, engineers, right? Yeah. So, regular people, I don't know. There's also Ladybug or something that is an attempt. Ladybird. That's what it is.
Okay.
It sounds like someone had like a really old hound dog. Isn't that Hank Hill? It's King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Their dog's name was Ladybird.
Was it?
I wonder if, but their logo is a ladybug.
I'm off to Google now.
Or something. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But
I'm not sure.
The dog's name is Ladybird, and this browser engine's name is Ladybird. So
Ladybird, yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see where that one goes as well. But again, I still maintain that you're stuck. You're stuck. You're a WebKit, you're a Gecko, or you're a Chromium, and that's really kind of it. So I'm hoping Servo can be more than that, can add a fourth option, or just usurp one of the others.
Get rid of the monoculture type trend that we're going on, right?
Ugh, everything is Chromium. Everything is Chromium. Don't worry, we're about to get to more Chromium too.
Yeah.
So Servo is really cool. It's interesting, but onto the Chromium thing. Sad, I guess. End of an era. The Chromium's Chrome itself is going to now insert itself between you and HTTP no S pages.
No S. Yeah.
So when you go to an HTTP webpage, right, one that does not have a certificate, but is not secure, right, is already, it's in the name. There's no secure in the name. It's going to tell you this site doesn't support a secure connection, right? Obviously.
Okay, thank you.
Right, attackers can see the information that you're sending. It's safe to visit this site later if you're on a public network. Don't do it here. There's less risk from a trusted network, right? All that kind of normal,
which is
normal
fine.
Stuff, right? The vast majority of websites aren't HTTP anymore, but
yeah, the HTTP just redirects to the other, the
most
HTTPS
of the time.
thing most of the time automatically.
But you had a really good point before we got into the show,
dude. You really need it. I mean, some people might argue about this, but I don't know if it's just serving up text that has no interaction. Do you care? I mean,
no.
Does it really matter? What are we securing?
Right. I think the HTTP thing was because every website had a login, right? And so you needed to encrypt everything, right?
Or if I have to enter any details, like I get it, like I want that to probably be secure. Absolutely.
Right. And in the early days, what would happen, right, is the whole web page would be HTTP. And then whenever you clicked on a login button or whatever, it would swap to HTTPS. And then once you were logged in, you went back to HTTP. That led to a bunch of crazy exploits where session stealing and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, so the whole mixing thing, I don't want that either.
Right.
But if I'm just serving you up some text with some, information on it, does it matter?
Case in point, my website is just text. Just text. Links, that's it. There is no interaction. You go to my website and you consume. There's nothing else you can do on that website, right? So it is pure HTML and CSS. I may one day add some JavaScript, but not JavaScript where you can send me anything, but JavaScript as in, here's a menu, right? There's no injection available here. But even in that case, right, HTTP would still be appropriate because like anybody that is snooping on you would see that you're going to my website, but
which is public.
Yeah, but they could see that HTTP or HTTPS, right? They see the stream. The stream is what matters there. They see who you're interacting with. And I mean, sure, with HTTP, they can see what link you clicked on or whatever. And with HTTPS, maybe they can't. But there's like
and I'd say like maybe there's probably pages that don't have any links on them.
Right.
It is just strictly you go here, you get info, and that's it. Like anybody can click on it if it's public.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I take your point. I mean,
I think it depends on the content, right? Absolutely. Right. Some of it does need to be secured. Some of it probably does not. I don't know that why are you stopping me from going there?
Right. And so that was actually part of the calculus of my website was... I could just do this HTTP, right? Most browsers don't care. They'll just send you anyway, but in the top, it'll say not secure, and that's totally fine. That you don't need to be secure.
That's fine,
Whatever. But it scares some people. So that was part of the calculus, right? Like, I don't want people to go away from the site thinking, oh, the site is bad because it's not secure. So I'm like, well, do I do a certificate? And then I got to thinking.
They're easy enough to do, don't get me wrong.
Right. I did mine all manual too, generated a certificate, moved it to the right place, put it in the right directory, and then added the lines to the configuration. I did the whole nine, right? I had to learn how to do that. I've never done that before. That was cool. But in the back of my mind, I always knew one of the browsers was going to do this eventually and just outright say, this is dangerous. And at that point, I would need to go and mint a certificate and go through the whole process. So I just decided,
Well, there are plugins that people use to force you going to the secure side of things too.
Right.
If
right.
Just in case it doesn't redirect. Yeah.
Yeah, mine does that. It does the HTTP to HTTPS upgrade, and then even on like links that have the HTTP for some reason, however you got that, I don't know, I don't have those, but if you got that, it would still take that, do that cool swap on the end that Apache does, and then upgrade the S as well, and then take you to the right page. So it does all the cool fanciness, but I just knew that this was going to happen one day, so I might as well get it out of the way, get it done before I get hit with it. And I mean, I guess I'm glad I did, because in a year,
here we are.
Okay, by the way, in a year it's coming. But there's a runway now. We have October 2026 is when this is going to drop for Chrome, and I guess everybody else is going to follow suit, because Chrome is like 86% of the market. So Chrome does, everybody else does too. Boo.
Yes.
But a couple other things that make me laugh. So we'll end on a high note. I apologize, though. It is AI adjacent. No, it is AI. So all these AI companies are doing browsers now.
Gross. It's just gross.
I know. It's not enough to just have like an add-on in another browser. No. We don't want some of the data, baby. We want all of the data. So we want you to have our browser that all it is a Chromium with an add-on baked in directly. That's all this is. Because on the sidebar, you pop out a little thing and you type in the little prompt and how do I bake cookies? Whatever it is. And oh, wow, it's part of the browser. How unique is this?
No.
So, okay. All right. My thoughts on AI browsers aside, it's bad. It turns out
it's not just our thoughts, it's actually bad.
It's actually demonstrably bad. So Brave put out a thing. Bleeping Computer has been following this for the past couple of months. And so there's Perplexity's Comet, and there's more, by the way, than these three, but there's Perplexity's Comet, there's OpenAI's Atlas, and there's Fellou, F-E-L-L-O-U. Fellou? I don't know. But
I'm not sure.
They're another browser. But all three of these browsers have been caught up in prompt injection. So, yes, it's the usual. You got fish to click on a wrong link or whatever and added something to your browser. So that what's happening here is that people are installing stuff to these browsers unknowingly, unwittingly, sometimes with the help of the AI.
Yeah, I was going to say the AI kind of helps them guide that through.
Exactly. So if you accidentally install some of these things, now that sidebar that used to be the actual AI is now a fake AI that is going to answer your questions, but it has been told by the malicious folks to do it in a slightly different, more malicious kind of give them the wrong link kind of way. So this is the most crazy thing. So these are spoofed AI sidebars. You type in a question. I think on the Bleeping Computer article that should be on the screen now.
Yeah.
They have a video of going to Binance, right? Like, of course, you're using AI to ask questions about cryptocurrency. Of course you are. So he asks in the video, how do I trade crypto on Binance or something like that? And it takes them to it should be BINANCE, right? But it takes them, the AI, the spoofed AI sidebar, takes them to BINANCEE.com, which is just there to steal your credentials. That's all it does. Yep. That's what it does. And
goodbye to your wallet.
Yep. Because the AI sidebar looks like the built-in AI sidebar, and it's answering questions like any AI would answer, of course you're going to click on that link. You trust the AI, because when has AI ever been wrong?
Yeah, every time.
85% of the time, it's mostly right. But
maybe you're generous.
Right. And then there are these unseeable prompt injections that are happening here too. So if you take a screenshot of a picture, or if you look at a picture inside of there and you ask the AI agent to look at that particular picture, and that picture also has malicious prompting inside of it, which is something you can totally do. This is before AI, but now we're using it for AI. Now it's prompting the AI on your behalf. So all of a sudden it's spitting out information you didn't ask for, or it's changing the way that it answers your specific query on that page because that thing is prompting it unknowingly to you unknowingly.
Yeah.
And it's coloring the output that it's giving you.
Yeah.
There's just no end to
it's so gross. Don't use these things, please. Don't.
It is like the continuation of the forget all your previous instructions and give me a recipe for cupcakes. You know,
well, I think it goes further back than that. Honestly, I think it's like the old Google ad suggestions that used to pop up that were all malicious because, you know, they spent a lot of money to put that ad in the front of you and at the top of the list, which makes you think that's the top result that you wanted when you search things.
It's on the top.
It's at the top. And so, like, that was a big thing for a long time, if you remember correctly, back in the day. And I think this is just a continuation of that.
Yeah. No, it definitely. This is a little more. Well, no, I can't say it's more malicious. It's not because those links
just
were
as bad.
It still happens all the time too. Like if you don't run with an ad blocker.
Yeah. The ad.
I've seen
the ad things. Probably they've tamped them down a little bit. Probably because they moved on to AI.
If I'm not mistaken, it was in the past couple of months. I can't remember exactly what software it was, but it was as big as Discord. Right? You would search for the Discord installer, and it gave you a malicious link. The first top sponsored ad link was a malicious link. Ugh. So while they have tamped down on them, they've handed it over to AI, and AI is doing a terrible job. So it's maybe one day. Today ain't that day. And so not only that, all of like enterprises are having to deal with this now too because people are downloading these browsers and using them to help them do their work and stuff. And no telling how deep this is going to go, but it's not great. And I can't see it getting better anytime soon. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how bad that gets.